will. Just real proud of our guys, how they responded after a tough loss this morning. We discussed this morning's contest and had to move through it. And we faced the same thing that Appalachian State did. Must win or you go home. And our sense of urgency certainly came out. Very proud of the way our guys competed from all areas. From the pitching side, which we'll discuss in a second, from the offensive side and from the defensive side. There were a lot of variables in that win, and a lot of momentum that just kept coming from a team that has played really, really hard. Appalachian State, had to come through that losers bracket, and want to really compliment them and their effort. I know they were tired, they were dead tired, and you could tell, but they never gave up. That's a sign of a good club and leadership under Kermit and his play and his program. So, two players I have with me today is outfielder Carson Pato, and then our pitcher Will Armstead.
Will, I know the last time I think I talked to you, I asked about your 12-6 curve, and you said you were watching Shohei Ohtani. Sure looked a lot like Shohei Ohtani today. Just talk about your outing.
Obviously I tried to emulate his pitch with the idea that it would help me be successful, and I think that it has. So, yeah.
Will, you pitched, was it just like 4 times at junior college or in your last year, right?
Yeah, my last year of junior college got injured really early in the season, so I ended up missing the whole season. I think they 10 innings.
What was the injury?
Torn flexor pronator muscle, this muscle.
So this is probably your longest outing since that injury?
Yeah, well, and early in the season I was on pitch count, so probably the longest outing in 2 years. So
how'd you feel?
I'd say, when you're out on the mound in a game and adrenaline's going, you don't really feel a whole lot of pain, but I probably will tomorrow. So.
Do you ever just, you go past 4 innings and you're like, still out here? I mean, did that thought pop into your mind at any point?
Well, I knew the coaching staff wanted me to go as long as possible to help save arms and give us the best chance possible to win, tomorrow if needed. And so I knew that the ball was mine as long as I could get it done, and that's my mentality coming in.
Will, it felt like you saved your best out of the year for last, and obviously you did with numbers and stuff. But before you took that mound, you're warming up, players are in the meeting. What's kind of going through your head when you take this game?
I try to think I try not to let the moment to get too big and think of it just another game. I don't really visualize like the opponent, or they're kind of nameless and faceless to me, and I like to think that the burden of success is placed upon me solely when I'm on the mound. That if I want to succeed, it's in my ability to execute my stuff, which I like to believe is good.
Well, did you feel like you were building toward a game like this where you can go 7 innings, just the work you put in the whole season?
Yeah, I started off, some shorter outings, but as the season progressed, steadily progressed in the innings pitched and the pitch count, and I think that enabled me and my body to be ready for this outing today.
Carson, what was the conversation amongst the hitters after that first game?
We kind of knew we had to come out swinging. It was obviously pretty unfortunate that we lost the first game, but we were kind of just playing with the hand we were dealt. We knew it was a winner go home, so we had to be aggressive from the gate, and we just knew that it was kind of do or die. So that's kind of our mentality going in. We had to stay calm at the same time.
It seemed like at points in the game, you guys were just kind of feeding off of Will's energy and him just putting up shutdown innings.
Yeah, it was definitely big time because we knew how big it was for Auburn to kind of go out there and beat up innings. So to see him go out there and have a few shutdown innings, it was definitely momentum for us on the offensive side as well as the defensive side. So that definitely helped us throughout the game.
It's talked about a lot as far as like how hitting can be contagious. With that, did you really feel that today? The entire lineup.
Definitely. It was. It's cool seeing some of your best friends go out there and just succeed and do good, and just go out there when they get a big hit and they're just smiling and kind of jump around the bases. So that definitely helps us, helps the energy in the dugout, and definitely feeds off each other.
Coach Barry, in a high pressure situation, like heading into a game 2, challenging your guys and they answer. What's that mean to you guys?
The challenge was we've been here before. We got kicked good over at Coastal Carolina. I felt like it was the same situation, and we had to treat it the same. And the way we responded on that Sunday there, set that streak in motion. And it was imperative that what we did today and how we responded to the early morning losses and who we were and who we've become, and to show ourselves that's exactly what we have to do. So that was a challenge moving forward. So but with Will's outing, when you look at that and, what that does for that game tomorrow in that situation to keep our pitching staff fresh. And, I'll be honest with you, I've watched him continually progress this season. The first part of the season, the two main surprises to me was Sibley in the first half and Will in the second half. And Will has adopted several roles in the second half. He has started a midweek game or two before, and then we had to pitch count him because we needed him in the bullpen on the weekend, so we couldn't really let him continue to go on those midweek starts. But he was showing really good stuff, and he was showing starter stuff. And when we determined to start him today, I really felt good about it because he just gets himself in a zone where he just kind of blocks everything out, and his stuff is really good. And he's been able to pound the zone and mix those pitches. So real proud of what he was able to do, real proud of what our offense was and run ruling and getting us off the field. I can tell you the two teams that are fixing to play right now, that is not the scenario that they wanted to see happen on whoever won today. They wanted them to go extra innings, 18 innings, and get tired, whoever it is. Just like, we kind of hope they go extra innings tonight. So, but, the challenge was to come out offensively today, put up numbers, and we talked about run rule early and the importance of it. And with his CG, it was just a great performance by our guys.
Will, did you talk to Matt any after the game this morning? He gives up 9 hits, I think, through 5 or 6 innings, and you give up 2 or 3 hits through 6 innings. Did he give you any pointers, or just kind of went with your own stuff?
Well, the real answer is no. I didn't really talk to him at all. But I just kind of, I saw him play obviously the whole game, and used that to try to formulate a plan to attack. So yeah.
Will, your stuff felt really old school up there. Three punch outs, but you're getting these guys to fly out and ground out. How much trust do you just put into your stuff to just throw in the strike zone and trust defense?
Well, a lot of stuff in my arsenal is designed to get big contact. Like, it's the whole purpose of the pitch. So I feel like if I'm able to execute it over the plate, that will be a likely outcome most of the time. So.
Coach, this time of year, you know this is the time where you need different guys to step up. And Will is a great example of that, right? A guy you really need
100%. Yeah. And I think you saw that out of App State's in the early morning. They took some guys out of the pen that hadn't, their numbers didn't indicate what they were able to do. And you're exactly right. This is a time of year where sometimes the ones that hadn't been counted on are the ones that now are, and they step up. Every day a star is born, and the opportunity was there today. And not that he hadn't been doing what he's doing, but he hadn't gone 7 innings, and he hadn't gone what he did in the magnitude of the game that we face today in a do or die.
Scott, I'm sure you've probably got other examples in your head, but just the last couple of years in the postseason, I can think of Storm against LSU, Tanner against Ole Miss the year before, kind of doing similar things. What is it about your program that you think allows for that to seemingly kind of happen once a year, if not?
Well, I just think it's winning. You win, and you continue to win year after year, and it just teaches itself to your players. And every one of those scenarios of Storm last year, the guys that were there remember what happened last year, and they start believing. One thing we've been able to do is have that consistency in our program of getting where we are. This is not new, getting to a title game tomorrow. This is who we are. This is who we've been for quite a while now. We missed it last year at our own place, but this is where we're supposed to be, and the moment is set for us to go out for the opportunity. Now it's up to us to take care of the opportunity and meet that challenge.
To bounce off that, you also continue the streak of 40-win seasons, 7 in a row now for this program. Jack said longest active in Division I.
Yep. Well, next year's team will need to continue and let them chase them. That's what this is all about. So that's what I told them. Seventh consecutive year, and they're going to have to keep chasing us. So that's part of the goal that we have, is to win those games.
Coach, you were 1 win away from the regular season championship in the Sun Belt, and now 1 win away from the tournament championship, right? So does that kind of motivate you guys, in a sense, having a chip on your shoulder?
talked about that in the post game. You know, exactly just what you said. You know, I think it's about opportunity, Scott, and that's what we've created for ourselves. We had an opportunity there at the end of the year. Obviously, we would have had to sweep Lafayette, and we didn't. We won the series, and Carolina did what they were supposed to do against Marshall and won it outright. So, you know, we presented an opportunity for us tomorrow, which I'm very proud of, and we don't need to take lightly. And those opportunities don't come, you know, free. You got to work hard for them. So, yeah, I mean, we got an opportunity to win a championship. That's what it's all about.